Marksman on the inside, he's carrying a lot of speed into turn 6, there's some contact there. Oh, huge crash there! David Fager into the bales.
Another fall for both Mariana and
Got the finish line in his sights, he comes through, he takes the win!
A steep hill, a slender road, tight turns, intense racing. Who will be the king of the Kingdom of Awesomeness? Welcome to the Kingdom of Awesomeness. Welcome to Pontry Bendigo, Wales, and welcome to the second round of the Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Following the season opener in Erzincan, Turkey, the International Series continues full steam ahead on its European leg, providing the riders with the best and most exciting rides from around the world.
Yeah, it's great. We haven't had an event of this calibre in this country for, I think, 10 years now, so it's awesome to see something like this come back here and get this country back on the map again.
With the recent announcement of the annual Brinx Cup, worth a massive $10,000 prize money this year, rising to $25,000 in 2025 to be awarded to the Open Skate winner, along with the global broadcast partnership with DAZN, the sport of downhill skateboarding is on a clear growth trajectory.
Organisation's brilliant, it's just fantastic. We did Turkey, unbelievable, I got the bug straight away from that, had to sign up for this. Just brilliant to be a part of. It's going places, it's growing week by week. I just absolutely love being a part of it, it's brilliant.
Out of the 23 riders that represent 9 nations, 8 came to Wales to contest the Open Luge category. In this program, we bring you all the action from the Open Luge competition. Nestled on the highest hill on Dolbolian Farm, the track measures just over 1.1 kilometers in length and cuts through the surrounding fields with long straights and very tight turns. Turns 1 and 4 are particularly challenging with 90-degree angles that come after long straights that build speed, and navigating them could be the key to victory in Wales.
It's very narrow and overall it's not very fast, but it has some sections where it's very steep, and it's very technical to ride the corners really fast because you have to brake a lot for it, and there's not a lot of grip, so it's very much about the right entry speed for the corners, to choose the right speed, and that's for good riders.
Taking into consideration the width of the track and weather conditions, and in the interest of safety, the organizers decided to run 2-man heats, which will put added emphasis on each race and will alter the strategy for the riders.
If you're not in front, you're out. So you have to, it's much more, it's what it is. If you win, you're in. If you lose, you're out. So there's none of this finishing second and getting through, or making maybe a crazy dive bomb move and not making it and other guys crashing around you. No, you gotta really go for it and be really assertive in a 2-man heat.
And last time I did this, we did the same. We did 2-man heats. It's not just a one-push race, so the person who pushes out in front is not going to be the winner, because on any one of these corners, anything can happen.
During his first qualifying heat, Josh Fieldwick had a crash and wasn't able to recover from last place. Phil Spencer made a decent run with a time of 1 minute 14.8 seconds and got 3rd place. Colby Parks had a major scare just before the last chicane of his run and barely managed to keep his board under control and finished 2nd with 1 minute 13.8 seconds.
Just a little bit of wobble.
I was so afraid you would take you then. You're out, mate. So, well, you hit a pothole.
I think I slid a bit and it did what it friggin' did.
But Ulrich Becker had a stellar run and placed first with a time of 1 minute 12.3. The Open Luge category saw 8 riders with 4 nations come to Wales to ride the Dragon with a strong showing by riders from the United Kingdom. The first quarterfinal heat saw Ulrich Becker of Germany face the UK's Josh Fieldwick. With a third-place finish in Erzincan, Ulrich is in with a good chance of a championship podium finish.
Oh, I hope to make a good race. Actually, there's a chance, like in every race, to win it, and maybe I can win it. We will see. Yeah, the field, a few very fast guys are missing, but everybody in the field has a good level. So and Colby is coming, so it's going to be interesting. Not an easy race.
As a newcomer to the Brinx WDSC Tour, Josh Fieldwick will be an unknown element in the competition and could surprise the rest of the pack.
It's going to be difficult. It's a really challenging track. It's really narrow, really demanding. So yeah, it's going to push a lot of people to the limits here. Oh, it's tough. It's the field's really bunched together here today. There's a lot of really good talent. So it's going to be some really tight racing, really tough.
So Ulrich Becker up against Josh Fieldwick in qualifying, but it's Fieldwick with a stronger start here, putting Becker under a little bit of pressure. Becker now settles down. He's got the line on the left-hand side of the road, but does Fieldwick try and shut him off? Where can Becker find the room to pass? He's fast in the corners here. Fieldwick runs it out a little wide, but it's all going to plan. Now we've seen in stand-up, this is the overtaking point, and Becker not quite close enough, so we might have a shock on our hands here unless Becker can find a way past through this section. Both riders sitting up. Becker, he's gonna have to take some risk now. He's got the speed coming out of the hairpin. Can he make the pass before the chicane? Fieldwick holding him off for now. What great racing in the first of the Luge quarterfinals. The brakes go on. This is going to be so tough. Fieldwick holding off the top qualifier, Ulrich Becker. Becker going on the inside. He's not got enough room to make the pass. Fieldwick on the exit. A big shock. The 8th seed, Josh Fieldwick, crosses the line. Ulrich Becker out of the race in the quarterfinals. A fantastic run from Josh Fieldwick there. Got a superb start. I think it's tougher to overtake on this hill.
In the second heat, Andrew Spate from the UK faced off against Dan Pierik from the Netherlands. Andrew Spate didn't have to travel far to get to Wales, as the veteran rider lives in Leeds. Andrew has been riding boards since the age of 9, and he's also the owner of Spate boards that many of the Tour regulars choose to race with.
It is a challenging route because as much as in past races I've not known the other riders, the extra riders we've got here from the UK, they are good riders, they are top riders. So where I might think there's a couple of ones like Abdul's not here, there is always somebody who's going to take that place. The weather does play a big part. As I've said before, we're not used to this in Wales and in the UK, the hot sunny weather. This will make the boards and street luges all run a bit faster, and it'll give you a lot more sort of sticking power, so it'll make it so you're not sliding out as much.
His rival in the heat, Dan Pierik, is new to the Tour and is aiming to get his footing in order to warm up for the rest of the season.
The level here, the level is awesome. I can't really compete with those guys. I try to step up my game, bring my A game. Still have to make a good time because of some guys crashed in front of me. I crashed because I lost my braking soles. Various problems here.
Andrew Spate up against Dan Pierik. Spate in all red, qualified in 4th, Pierik in 5th. Here we go. Both riders underway. It's a good start from Andy Spate, and he powers away from the man from the Netherlands with the green leg sleeve on. Win this one and you're into the semi-finals. That is where Josh Fieldwick finds himself. Through turn 1, no problem. Spate up over the rise, and now he can settle into the straight. Dan Pierk is just a little too far behind to think about an overtake here. Good run from Spate. He's got a little bit of room to break just earlier. Coming through, approaching the chicane. You've got that right-hander now into the tricky chicane. Pinch that line. Release on the exit. Spate's done it. And Spate crosses the line. He takes it. He is into the semi-finals up against Josh Fieldwick. So Spate up against Fieldwick in the first of the semi-finals.
The third heat has two Brits going head-to-head in order to progress into the semi-finals. George Cheeseman is back after a 2-year break and hoping to pick up where he left off in 2022. His rival, Philip Spencer, joined the tour in Erzincan this year and is looking to make a name for himself and improve his chances with a podium finish.
So in the luge, everything's going to count on your push because there's not many places to overtake. So if you're getting second or third as you're pushing off, it's a case of waiting for somebody to make a mistake. And as we've seen from the last couple of runs, people are making mistakes. So it's just a case of sitting tight, waiting for that mistake and taking advantage and getting in front.
So far so good. Having a hard time learning the track. Yeah, it's quite tricky. I don't know what to expect, but at the end of the day, it's a race. You know, the flag goes down, you just race. Whoever's with you, whether it's 1, 2, 3, whatever, you just go. So
next up, Phil Spencer up against George Cheeseman. Who's got the better of the stars? Pretty even off the blocks, but it's Phil Spencer still going, gets an extra couple of pushes in. It's going to be really, really interesting into turn one because these two are neck and neck. Spencer on the left-hand side of the road with the red leg sleeves, braking a little bit later than Cheeseman. Works his way through the first turn slightly, but Cheeseman is close, and we saw this in the first heat with Fieldwick and Becker. Cheeseman hasn't made the pass yet. Phil Spencer still holding him off. Bit of a wobble into the turn from Spencer, but these two are close. They're going to exit the hairpin. Just about a tenth of a second between them. Spencer quick on the straight, but Cheeseman in touch. Cheeseman has to take the risk here. Phil Spencer on a flyer, placing the semi-finals up for grabs. You've got to get it right through this section. Cheeseman's running a little bit wide. Cheeseman clips the bails. He's out. And Phil Spencer comes through into the semi-finals. Good to see George Cheeseman on his feet.
The last heat of the quarterfinals has Canadian Colby Parks lined up alongside Welsh rider Ian Martland. As a local rider, Ian is familiar with the Dragon and hopes his experience will help him through to the semi-finals.
I've ridden the Dragon a couple of times, and it's got teeth. It can really bite. So I've got some demons on some of the corners that I've got to work through before I can get up to top speed. The way that the practice has been going so far, everyone's up around about the same time, so it should be really, really close racing.
Colby Parks, however, is determined to build on his victory in Erzincan and is cautiously optimistic about his chances.
You know, I'm just here to do the best I can. This course is very fast, potentially really dangerous. It's very unique too, so it's because it's so narrow, we're only doing a 2-man heat. And also there's a couple uphill sections that will favor the heavier guys like Ulrich, Dan, and Andy. So we'll have to see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting race for sure. It's going to be very hard to pass, so the push is going to be very, very big deal on this track.
Now Colby Parks up against Ian Martland. We saw in Q3 he had a huge wobble, didn't he? It was heart in mouth stuff. Colby Parks gets a decent start. He's in the red leg sleeves. Ian Martland 8th in Erzincan. Qualified in 7th for this race. Parks has been quick out of this turn all day long, and now Ian Martland keeping in touch though with Colby Parks through the opening section of the course. Parks into the hairpin, followed by Martland, and here is where Parks has been so good. He left us all on the edge of our seats through this next section. And Colby Parks comes through and takes his place in the semi-finals. He will go up against Phil Spencer in the semi-finals.
Into the semi-finals, and the first heat is an all-British affair with Andrew Spate and Josh Fieldwick facing off for a place in the final. We now head over to the live commentary team.
So here we go, first of the men's semi-finals. Win this and you are guaranteed a medal here, and it's Josh Fieldwick again with the good start. And Fieldwick ahead of Spate here, and Spate has to do something. It's not Dan Peark of the Netherlands. It is Fieldwick in the lead with Andy Spate in second place. Spate trying to run it tight on the exit. Can he get in the slipstream? Can he do anything? He's got the size advantage. You could see that Spate has a little bit more top end, but there's nowhere to go. Spate putting the pressure on Josh Fieldwick. Round the outside, and Spate's maybe going to try and cut tight on the inside of the turn. But it's Fieldwick who has put on a masterclass so far today. Not a lot Spate can do at the moment. The braking zone, and Spate has to think about maybe trying to dive on the inside. There's all he can do here on the exit from the chicane. Can Spate get close enough? There's nowhere to go. It's going to be a bit of a sprint for the line, but Josh Fieldwick just holds off Andy Spate. A little shake of the head from Spate, but Fieldwick into the final. A great run again from Josh Fieldwick. He is guaranteed a medal here. Now semi-final number 2. Colby Parks up against Phil Spencer. Colby Parks on the left-hand side of the road, the Canadian out of Ontario. Phil Spencer from Great Britain. They're neck and neck out of the start. Colby up, and well, Spencer getting down low a little bit earlier, putting the pressure on Parks. They're going to be side by side into the first turn. Well, Spencer just moved in behind Parks there. He's got to keep that connection, got to stay close. You never know. We saw how close Spate got in the previous semi-final. Bit of an advantage here, though. There's not a lot in it between Parks and Spencer. Through the hairpin, good clean exit from both riders. Parks with a bit of a cushion. Spencer not able to sit in the draft. And the gap increases. Colby Parks looking to make his second final in a row. The Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Avoids the speed wobble that he had in qualification. And it's Colby Parks from Canada who takes his place in the big final.
At the Consolation final, Andrew Spate will battle Phil Spencer for a podium spot.
Here we go. Consi final in the Luge underway. Strong looking start from both riders. They are neck and neck at the moment. Spate gets down low. First on the board, side by side. Coming into turn 1. This is going to be super, super tight. Spate hits the brakes. Phil Spencer gets on the brakes a little later. And it's Phil Spencer with the advantage. Coming out of that turn, Spencer trying to hold off Andy Spate, who's got the size advantage through this section. He can build the speed a little bit quicker, but Spencer has been working so hard in the gym to get in shape. A huge credit to him for the work that he's doing off of the hill to be ready to battle it out on the hill against the world's best. But Andy Spate is going nowhere. Here he comes. Is he going to take a risk? Coming in to the chicane section. Spate still sitting in third place right now. Spencer has a little look. Has Spate got anything? Can he make a move through this section? It's not going to happen, and Phil Spencer is going to get third place, his first Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship podium. And Andy Spate with a smile on his face across the line. There won't be a happier man than Andy Spate to see Phil get on the podium today. Congratulations to Phil Spencer.
Over at Moon, can't believe it. Got in semis with Colby. Canadian dream, that guy. It was just an absolute honour to race with him. Got in consists with Andy. Just got him at push. I did give 2 extra pushes and got him into the first corner. So stuck it out rest at track, and I know he were inches behind me. I could hear him all the way down, but just went for it, see what I could do.
So Phil Spencer takes the third podium spot. Not long now until we find out who will be crowned King in Wales. With everything on the line, now it's time for the Open Street Luge Final. Colby Parks will declare victory in the 2024 season if he can win the next race. Only Josh Fieldwick stands in his way.
Fieldwick has been defeated Andrew Spate in the semi-finals. Finds himself up against the winner of round 1, the championship leader, Colby Parks. Here we go. Men's Luge Final. Colby Parks with a good start, but Fieldwick's starts have been super strong all day, and they're approaching the first turn. Can Fieldwick get the line into the turn? And it's Colby Parks who just holds that line and has the advantage. Fieldwick's running low. Fieldwick's in the bails. Fieldwick's in the bails. Colby Parks just has to come through. Colby Parks is out on his own. Fieldwick has worked so hard today. They're working on the bails at the top. He gets moving again. But Colby Parks is going to ride through to take his second victory in a row on the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Entering the chicane, and the Canadian is the form man this season. One more turn to go. Colby Parks comes through, takes the victory in round number 2 in Wales. He celebrates a great day's work from Colby Parks. Victory again for the Canadian. 200 points now for him in the championship standings. Josh Fieldwick is still to complete the course. Fieldwick coming through. He will take a well-earned second place today for Josh Fieldwick. It has been great racing.
I do not care about opinions. Time to make a few decisions so I can take a position. I'ma go get it. I'm punching.
And Colby Parks does it. The Canadian wins in Wales and is the Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship Street Luge Champion of 2024.
Stoked, man. I didn't expect to be here. I couldn't have lost to anyone better than Colby. So yeah, good racing. Unfortunately, had that crash on the first corner, but yeah, that's racing, and we go again.
With it being best 2 out of 3 now, I have 2 wins, so that means I win the World Championship. So I've worked so hard over the summer to get my push, and I think that was the key today. Josh surprised everyone with his push, beat out top qualifier Oli, and then he beat out Andy. And I was worried about taking the outside lane for that last final, but in my run with Phil, it seemed like the outside lane had a bit of a dip, and I was able just to get him enough that he had to brake into the first corner, and I just held it from there. So the push and all that work I've done has paid off.
The final standings are Colby Parks with first, with Josh Fieldwick second, Phil Spencer third, Andrew Spate fourth, and Ulrich Becker fifth. In the World Championship standings, Colby Parks has now secured victory with 200 points. Ulrich Becker is second with 134, and Andrew Spate third with 125 points. In In the qualifying series, Josh Fieldwick was on top of the podium with Phil Spencer in second and Ulrich Becker in third. That brings an end to our coverage from Wales. See you in Roan Mountain, Tennessee for the final leg of the 2024 season of the Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship.
Said I'm fired up. I'm sorry your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up.
Marksman on the inside, he's carrying a lot of speed into turn 6, there's some contact there. Oh, huge crash there. David Fager into the bales.
Another fall for both Mariana
Got the finish line in his sights, he comes through, he takes the win.